How would you help somebody identify what the issues are and help keep them from getting stuck?
I think it starts when I do a look in the mirror exercise. Another way I use it is a SWOT analysis. Here's so key. This, if I can give any tip when it comes to entrepreneurs, anybody who's self-employed, starting their own business, is you have to make yourself a priority first. Here's what I learned, that everything you go through along the journey now becomes a story. It becomes your story, it becomes your message, it becomes your testimony. When I'm sharing my story as a keynote, I'm not speaking about what I heard or what I read. I'm sharing the real life story. And because of that, that's what makes it unique and different.
What would you say to somebody who's starting a business? What would be the hardest part for them in starting a business?
It's always remind yourself your original why.
They lock the door, we change the code. Yeah. Bill Black, break locks, no handouts, we bought the block. Bill Black, take spice, no gatekeep, we run the lot. They shut the gate, we change the code, turn small ideas into overload. No commission, we on the flow, independent, that CEO. Media says what I name it grade, built the lane and paid the way. From the block, the boring plays on everything, generational play. Bill Black, break chain, no cash given, we made our lane. Bill Black on everything.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Build Black Show. I am yours truly, Coach Swan Simpson, and I have Critelia Harris, I have Robin White, and in the studio today, we have Dora Chambers. Now, let me tell you a little bit about Dora. First of all, she's a friend.
Yes.
She is a success coach, an international speaker, a trainer, an author, and a philanthropist who has a wealth of business knowledge that she is going to bring to us today. So thank you for being here, Dora.
Oh, thank you so much for having me, Coach Swan Simpson and the other beautiful ladies. It's so great to be here with all you sisters. I'm looking forward to having an awesome conversation today.
Absolutely, absolutely. I want to just also say Dora is on the Tubi TV show Sister Vibes,
Mhm.
which was also produced by yours truly.
Yeah.
So be sure to catch her story on Tubi as well.
Yeah.
So, Dora, I mean, you are such a well-rounded woman in business. It's like, where do we even start?
Thank you.
So, how about we just start from the beginning? Tell us how you came to be a businesswoman. Was this something you've always wanted to do, own your own business?
You know, actually, it started because I got laid off. I worked in the
Yeah.
nuclear industry for 11 years for the Department of Defense and Department of Energy as a contractor, as quality assurance specialist, and a system engineer. 11 years in nuclear industry, traveled throughout the country, working at several nuclear power plants and nuclear weapon facilities as well. And in the early 90s, as many of you may know or may remember, the government made a cutback in the nuclear industry.
Yep.
20,000 people were laid off, and I was one of the 20,000. So 30 years old, and was forced to start my life all over again. So at that moment, the way it made me feel to really realize that someone else was controlling my destiny, someone was controlling how much I was worth, and someone could decide in an instant, just a print of a piece of pink paper, right, my life. And I fell into homelessness in Atlanta, Georgia. And at that moment, I made a decision that working for someone else was no longer an option for me. Didn't know what I was going to do, but I knew I wanted to own my own. My first thing, I started researching opening a frozen lemonade stand because I like the park. So I said, I can hang out at the park. I can hang out at the park and sell frozen lemonade. But then,
I love that.
but then I was introduced to network marketing at that same time of seeking and searching, and it changed my life. It absolutely changed my life. I've been in network marketing now for over 30 years, not as active as I used to be, but network marketing is definitely was my launching pad into becoming a businesswoman and in the world and the industry of business, if you will.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Wow. So, network marketing.
Yes.
So you want to share with us the company that kind of gave you the gateway to your success in that industry?
Sure. ACN company headquartered in Michigan. I started in the company in 1994, became regional vice president, which at the time was the highest earned position, the first
Mm,
Black woman to do it. Did it in about 3 years or so. 1996, I was promoted. Yeah, so ACN was amazing, still is an amazing training
hmm
platform, just teaching you life of business and mindset and entrepreneurship, coaching and leadership. It
Right.
really grew me up, as a businesswoman. And I still credit today ACN and the leadership and the mentors that I had in that industry during that time and still do. We're still all very close. I still consider them mentors for really shaping me to be who I am today.
Mm,
Yeah, ACN is
okay.
amazing, absolutely extraordinary. We started off at telecom and now they've launched into, different industries and countries as well. But it was an
Right.
extraordinary journey. Absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well,
Wow.
Dora, let me ask you something. Many people are good at what they do, but they struggle to market themselves consistently and generate
Yeah.
sales. So, what do you believe they're getting wrong?
In what perspective, as far as marketing themselves?
Yes, in the sales industry, when it comes to marketing themselves and being consistently in generating sales, like what do you think they
Yeah, what I learned, I get your question. What I've learned is that I think what most people miss is being authentic and not being a cookie cutter,
Mm,
not trying to be
how about
something or
that?
somebody that you're not. People, I
Mhm.
always have this saying, you have a story and somebody needs to hear your story.
The Bill Black Show proudly presents the 2026 Bill Black Business Honors, celebrating Black-owned businesses building revenue, impact, and legacy. Business owners may nominate themselves or nominate another Black-owned business doing exceptional work. This year, businesses may be considered for one of 4 primary honors. Service-based business excellence. The Digital Innovation Award recognizes technology companies. Main Street and Retail Champion recognizes storefronts, restaurants, boutiques, salons, spas, product-based brands. The Community Impact Award recognizes businesses, social enterprises, and nonprofits. To nominate your business or recognize another Black-owned business that deserves greater visibility, visit buildblackhonors.com today. Don't forget that's buildblackhonors.com. Selected nominees may receive official recognition, promotional exposure, social media features, and consideration for an interview on The Bill Black Show, one of the nation's top-ranked business podcasts. Your business does not have to be the biggest, but it should be building something worth recognizing. Nominations for the 2026 honors are now open. Visit buildblackhonors.com today to submit your nomination. Again, that is buildblackhonors.com. The 2026 Bill Black Business Honors. Celebrating Black-owned businesses building revenue, impact, and legacy.
Right?
Yes.
So understanding that means somebody's going to buy into you for you being you, right?
That's right.
Sometimes when you
That's
look
right.
at who goes viral and things like that, and you realize, oh, they're the ones that don't have any frills or thrills or anything. They're just coming on and they're just being themselves. Right now, people want transparency and people want,
There,
people that are real, if you will, are being authentic. So a lot of times
there
when
you
people
go.
go into marketing their brand or their business, all of a sudden they feel like they have to become or do it like somebody else or be like somebody else instead of being themselves and being true to your product. But your first product is you. People are going to
Mm.
buy you first, even before they buy that frozen lemonade. Right?
I love that.
Yeah. So I really think that's what
Mm.
it is. So people get caught up in the game, if you will, of trying to mirror or mimic someone else because they think that's what it
That's true.
takes instead of just being themselves.
You're completely preaching to the choir over here. I was having this conversation earlier about marketing as being one of the most challenging things for me.
Yeah.
My you're right, authenticity truly has been the hallmark for me when I'm doing well.
Yeah.
How do you, I know that you coach people through this process. how would you help somebody identify what the issues are and help keep them from getting stuck?
I think it starts when I do a look in the mirror exercise, right? And then I have the things that you know you're good at. So, another way I use it is a SWOT analysis. Yes. And many of you in Fortune 500, when I was in corporate, there was a SWOT analysis. It was really used for Fortune 500 companies, big corporations. But once again, you're your first entity. So you have to be willing to look in
Be
the
sure to
mirror.
tell everybody what a SWOT analysis is.
Right. SWOT, right? So just like we analyze a business and or a company, you first must be willing to analyze self. So what are your strengths? That's the S. What are your weaknesses? That's the W. What are the opportunities that can spin off for what you're doing now that can turn into other opportunities and other revenue streams? That's the O. And T, most importantly, what are your threats? What would stop you from fulfilling your dreams? What would stop you bringing your dreams into fruition? What are those things that would stop you? So that's the first thing I do with every client is a SWOT analysis, and it warrants honest conversation with self. You got to be honest about yourself, right? What are those areas that, I need to take a little bit more training. I need to take a class. I need to grow, right? Or, wow, by when I think about coming from ACN to network marketing and now how it has launched me into different avenues, but it's still from my same will set, if you will, right? It's it's still I'm still doing what I used to do in network marketing, but I've been able to brand it in different ways by still doing what I know to do in my wheelhouse.
Absolutely.
Right. So writing the books, becoming the coach, becoming the keynote speakers, and things like that. So I think the
And you
analysis
work
is
with
very important.
speaking of keynotes, you worked with Bedroom Candy.
Yes.
Tell us about that journey.
Yes. Wow. 9 years I worked with Bedroom Candy and Miss Kandi Burruss. Had the honor of working with her and her extraordinary team, and Nadine Thompson at the time, that was the president. And originally, I was first brought on as a keynote speaker, 30 minutes, right? And this is a true story. Kandi Burruss sat in the front row, right, and said, "Oh my God, we need to have her back." That turned into 9 years. That turned to me being actually hired by them as a consultant, as their master trainer for 9 years with their organization. So I literally did all the training for their representatives in the field, because what a lot of people don't know and still don't know, the Bedroom Candy was a network marketing company. It was direct sales. So, and a lot of people that were recruited into the business didn't realize that that was the business platform. So, to bring that training and understanding of the industry itself of direct sales and network marketing is what I brought to the table for them. But it was an honor. Got a chance to, speak on the big stage for 9 years straight, but also doing the monthly, day-to-day training with them as well. It was absolutely extraordinary.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
It was a
I
great
love
run.
it.
Who knew 30 minutes would turn into 9 years?
There you go. Like you said, you have to be authentic. Bring you and what you have to the table, and that's what creates the opportunities.
Yes.
I mean, the scripture says that your gifts will make room
Yes,
for you.
ma'am.
It's all true. It's all real. We just have to believe that
Yeah.
and know that and stand on that truth.
And walk in it.
Absolutely.
Doing the work.
I have you have done a lot, Dora, and this is something I want to know. In 2020, you entered the the
CBD.
CBD in the wellness industry
Yes.
and launched Divine Supreme Cafe.
Yes.
What made you step into that, and sometimes it was misunderstood in the industry?
It was through my philanthropy work. I started and launched Pink Ladybugs 14 years ago now. Nonprofit organization focusing on breast health awareness. I started in honor of 3 of my dearest friends and business colleagues that all succumbed to the disease of breast cancer, as well as an uncle. So I launched Pink Ladybug Foundation in their honor. And one of the platforms that we do, one of the programs that we provide is we do healing retreats for survivors, right? So throughout the years of doing the work, I'm always researching holistic, naturopathic ways of healing and preventative measures. And one of the things that constantly came up in my research was CBD, right? Both for preventative care as well as a healing path as well, especially for many of the men and women that I work with that went through chemo, to kind of help with the discomfort of the chemo, but also the
Right.
recovery from the chemo. So as a result of it, I was like, okay, here we go. One of my favorite things at the retreats is tea time. I love tea, right? So I said, what better way to introduce this by finding ways and or doing research, CBD being infused in tea and coffee. Thought I was onto something new, but come to find out it already existed. It already existed. So I don't believe in reinventing the wheel. I just tapped
Hey.
in to where it made sense for us. And of course, picked up the phone and called our wonderful and amazing, extraordinary Coach Juan Simpson. And that's what launched it. And, here's a fun fact. A lot of people don't know 2020, I was quarantined. Well, I shouldn't say quarantine, but I was, what's the word? Because I don't like to use the word stuck. But I was in Ghana for 3 months. Was not able to leave Ghana due to the
Yep.
lockdown. That's the word I'm looking for. I was locked down in Ghana
Yep.
for 3 months, but we were determined to still see the vision through. So literally, Coach would tell you, I was doing conference calls with her at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning on
It's
our
true.
coaching sessions just to launch Divine Supreme. And we actually launched September 2020. Did a soft
Yep.
launch the year of COVID. So yeah, it was pretty extraordinary. But that's a fun fact. I was actually in Ghana, West Africa, couldn't get home for 3 months.
Wow.
So, and that raises a really good point, Dora. I think a lot of us get caught up in the distractions of stuff in life. What would you say to somebody who's starting a business who might feel like they have limited access to resources, or what would be the hardest part for them in starting a business or being in business?
I think the
What would you
hardest
say to them?
part, and what I've learned again, even for myself, and it's something I have to constantly do, is always remind yourself your original why. Why
Uh,
did you even launch the
Absolutely.
business? Why
Absolutely.
did you even have the vision? Because there's a lot of things that could distract you. There's a lot of things that could pull you in a different direction. And you have to remind yourself, well, no, let's go back to why it's really here. I had to do that several times with Divine Supreme Cafe, reminding myself what was the sole purpose of this business and the vision. Yes. Number two, always seek a coach.
Always.
Always, always seek a coach. I tell people I have a coach in every area of my life: financial coach,
Absolutely.
business coach, CBD coach, health coach, wellness coach, financial coaches. It's so important. I always tell people Tiger Woods can play golf, but Tiger Woods has a coach. LeBron James can play basketball, but
100%.
LeBron James has a coach. Serena Williams can play tennis,
100%.
but they all have coaches, even to this day.
Preach.
Right? Being
Preach.
the best of the best of the best in the world, they still have coach. So having a coach that understands your vision, that can help you with that vision and take care of that baby giving birth to that dream. So it's so very, very important that you don't leave that step out. Because a lot of times, yeah, because we're out here trying to do it on our own, where you can have a coach that can lead and guide you. It's not like somebody's telling LeBron James how to play basketball, right? He knows how to play
Right.
basketball, but a coach is leading and guiding and directing on how to win the game. And Coach
that's
Swan
what's up.
Simpson, she taught us how to win the game, hands down, hands down.
Baby.
Telling you,
You during that time, you were a part of Women Who Can, and you were actually awarded the Cannabis Business of the
yeah.
Year. Tell us about that journey.
Oh
Wow.
my goodness! First of all, it was a shock. It was a surprise. But just to be a part of, after being a student of Coach Swan, and I still consider myself a student of Coach Swan, but after being a student and enrolling 100% in every platform that she offered and opened the door to us, because I think that's also important. Sometimes doors are open and you have to know how to utilize it and how to take full advantage of it and grow from it, right? So if she was offering
Yeah.
You
it,
better
I
tell
was
them,
going to be
girl.
there. If she invited, I was going to show up, right? Very important. Listen, we have to show up for our own success.
You have
You have
to.
to show up. But by showing up and being in these doors of opportunities to, you know, present and to vend at the different events and be a part of the program and the platform of Women Who Can, right? And then to, attend one year and she made the announcement, that I was the winner. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. I think I cried the ugly cry.
Well deserved.
But it was such an
Well
honor.
deserved.
It's such an honor, especially when you're being recognized for doing what you just think you're supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
Just
Amen.
just show up. I think that's what you're just supposed to do. Yeah. So I thank you so much, Coach, for that. That was a wonderful day. That was a big day.
But what's so extraordinary about you, Dora, is, aside from the fact that you're a fellow Scorpio,
Yes, of course.
that speaks volumes by itself.
There's a whole lot.
Aside from that fact, what makes your stories so powerful is that you have achieved and accomplished under some serious
Mhm.
just pressures and setbacks. Like, you started a business in the CBD industry during a pandemic and you were outside of the country and you didn't let none of that stop you.
Yes.
And we launched the
We launched it.
business.
We sure did. Yes, we did.
And then we said, well, look, you can't open up your physical cafe right now.
Right.
We're gonna do a virtual cafe.
Yes, we did.
You had tea parties on Zoom.
Yes.
Tell everybody how you
Yeah,
do it.
it's the best thing because we was like, okay, can't open a brick and mortar, not smart business, COVID, nobody's going nowhere, right? So that would be a smart
Right.
decision. So Coach said, hey, everybody's doing everything on Zoom. So I was like, okay, say less, I'll take an idea and run with it. So I called my business partner. I was like, hey, yeah. So what we did is we put a menu together. We sold tickets, virtual tickets, right? And then every customer from across the country literally got a tea basket with our sample teas, our sample desserts, and we shipped them off just in time for, before the virtual party, but they were told not to open it because we unboxed together, right? And then we would have like a little timeout in the middle of the virtual and everybody had to go boil their teapots, right? And when it was tea time, had a little music playing in the background. It was amazing. So we would unbox it, we would describe the tea, define the tea, what it was good for. And then when it was time for tea party time, everybody would go and boil their hot water. I mean, it became a thing where our customers were getting their own little private tea sets. They would have their tea sets on the table. It was so awesome. It was true. And then we let them, and then I would ship the little kitty chalkboards, right?
Yep.
And then they would rate the product from 1 to 10, and that's how we selected what was on our menu. It was amazing. That's how we launched. And it became a thing.
I swear.
It became a real thing.
A thing, baby.
Wow.
And
That's
an
amazing.
extraordinary thing. I love it. I love that story. I bear witness to that story. It was incredible. It was incredible. So, where are you now on your entrepreneurial journey? What are you doing now? And what advice do you give young women, young men who want to start a business in 2026? People are so confused. Everybody wants to be an influencer. Like you, people they want to follow and be somebody else rather than be themselves. So, where are you? And what do you give as advice to someone that wants to start?
I'm working on 2 major projects right now. I just launched a year and a half ago. We just launched 18 months ago, an international company, registered and incorporated in Jamaica, called Provision Partners Limited. So I now launched a hospitality consultant firm in Jamaica, along with my business partner, Michelle Patterson. So we do project management, property management. So we manage small villas, boutique hotels, and Airbnbs. But the reason why, once again, you got to remember your reason why. The reason why we launched the business outside of she's Jamaican and I'm a Jamaican. So I love Jamaica, right? And that's where I want to retire, right? And then, but also we realized the level of hospitality and customer service has declined drastically in Jamaica. It's not the Jamaica that we grew up loving and knowing, right? So we always believe instead of complaining, be a part of the solution. Find a need and fill
Amen.
it is the key to the business. So there's a huge need to bring that back to Jamaica, and that's why we started. So our foundation is we do hospitality and customer service training for hotels, staffing, the whole 9 yards, and we love it. We were blessed to right out the gate, kind of similar to Divine Supreme, believe it or not. Our very first soft opening had someone that came, drove 6 hours to come to our event and hired us the next day and literally gave us the keys to his building, 9-bedroom villa, and we managed it for a year, lived on the property, ran the whole thing, opened the restaurant, opened the bar, did the staff and did the menu, the whole 9 yards. So that put us on the map in Jamaica. It literally did. So now we're being sought out by many properties, business owners, things like that. So that's major right now. We're in the middle of 2 major acquisitions as well in
Okay.
Jamaica that will allow us to not only be the project manager, but put together investment groups, but also once the projects are done, being the property manager as well. One of the things we learned in that business, we have to become realtors. So now we're going to become realtors in Jamaica. It's one of the things that's
Yep.
required. So that's major. And it's a project of passion and love and just respect and love for the people in
Feel
Jamaica
it.
and just Jamaica as a whole. But one of the things I'm so excited about that, honored about that, has been amazing. So I've literally now live in Jamaica pretty much full time. I only travel back every 90
Oh, that's
days. Yeah.
amazing.
So, but the other project, and I know Coach is excited about it, I'm so excited about it, is I'm launching a podcast on my mom's birthday in a couple of weeks, August 14th, called Hey Nephew, Love Auntie. And
I like that.
it's going to be special.
Congratulations.
It's going to be
Congrats.
special. I was here. Some of you may not know that my dad passed away a couple of weeks ago. And my nephew was taking me to the airport a couple of weeks ago and to fly back to Atlanta. And it was just an extraordinary conversation. Just extraordinary. He's 19. And, as a young Black man and just having a candid conversation just about things in life and what's going on in social affairs and things like that. And, I found myself getting out of the car and marveling. Like, my nephew has something to say. And just his view and his take on life was just so amazing to me. And I got on the plane and I'm a sleepyhead. So I'm asleep before the plane takes off and I'm asleep when we land, right? But I dreamt the whole podcast, even the name.
Wow.
That's amazing.
So when I landed, I called him. I said, "Hey, nephew," I said, "God gave me a vision and a dream, even the name." And he goes, "Well, if you drifted, it meant something." So
That's right.
next day I called Coach. Next day I called my graphic artist. We put the promo together and here we are. So I'm excited about that. So I'm here in California. I'm going to be able to do a few things with him just kind of as a countdown. And then, we'll be creating a podcast from Jamaica to California.
Amen.
Congratulations.
Yes.
I love
That's
it.
So
fantastic.
excited about that.
I'm listening to you and I'm hearing what you were saying earlier about being authentic, remembering your why.
Yes.
Making sure you're educating yourself and opportunities unfold. And this is such a prime example. I'm so able to connect the dots with everything that you're saying.
Yes.
How do you manage all of this without becoming overwhelmed and distracted?
Good
Well,
and choosing which opportunities to follow.
Right. That's a great question. I get asked it all the time. And sometimes I don't realize how much I do until I say it out loud. If that makes sense. Because when you love what you do, it doesn't feel like work.
Right.
Right. But I'm old school quality assurance and quality control. So I definitely live by a calendar, but I live by prioritizing as well. And here's so key. This, if I can give any tip when it comes to entrepreneurs, anybody who's self-employed, starting their own business, is you have to make yourself a priority first. Right?
That's what Coach always
Put
says.
yourself on the calendar first. I've lived by that. That balance is so key. It is so key. because when you burn out, you're no good to yourself or your business or your clients, right? So make it yourself. So I literally have a calendar. I do my whole year calendar, but I go through it and I pay myself first, right? One-on-one with finances. I pay myself in my time
I heard that.
and my
Pay yourself
energy.
first.
I pay myself first. So I put all my time, my nap time, my day off time, my vacation time, for real, on my calendar first, and then I build everything else around it. And I don't
Found
compromise
that.
that, right? Number one.
Hey,
Number two, sometimes when you do have multiple streams of revenue, right, you do have to learn what needs to go to the back and what needs to move forward. Makes
yes.
sense? Because there's some things, like some industries you're in, just because of what's going on in the industry, it's a slow or a low by default, to no fault of your own. So you have to shift, right? So, and then, but when you're doing a startup, that's, of course, like giving birth. So that's going to take more of
Yes.
your energy. But I always look to allot a certain day or a certain amount of time to each entity. But it's the
There you go.
calendar and it's prioritize, and learn how to prioritize, for sure.
Mm,
And I want to go back to Coach Swan's question about, what advice would I give to young people that's looking to, be entrepreneurs? That number one, everybody wants to be influencer, everybody wants to go viral, but that may not be your thing. That may not
that's
be your
true.
calling. That may not be your anointing. That may not be your purpose, right? So again, instead of following a fad and or a trend, again, ask yourself those very serious questions. Who are you? And what do you bring
Mm,
to the universe? Right? And what
mm,
will people buy into you as a result of that? Right? Like, for example, my nephews, my brother played professional basketball for years in the Philippines, right? Coached basketball here in the US for many years with the girls team, and now he's back in the Philippines coaching the university there, right? But some people would assume, right, that his son would follow in his footsteps. Oh, you don't want to play basketball. Not his thing. So sometimes,
right.
right? But some people will assume that. So you find your lane and you stay in it. That's the thing. You got to be consistent and you got to stay in it. You got to stay in your lane. Don't veer off to the right and the left just because that's the way the wind is blowing today. All right. Oftentimes in ACN, people would come in and we would call it the fad of the year, or the fad. You have somebody come in and they just killing the business, and now everybody wants to change how they're doing business.
Mm,
No, stay in your lane, because those fads they're fleeting.
that's
They
right.
come and go, but stay in your
That's right.
lane. And yes, it's hard. Trust me, Coach will tell you. I've had some high highs and some low lows.
Mm,
Right? And that's when you're at a crossroads in your business and your life, right? But you have to maintain what is true to you.
100%.
You have to. And then eventually it will begin to fill up again, right? When you think that, oh my goodness, what am I going to do? Oh my God, you reach a crossroads, you got to make a decision. But I've learned that every crossroad is either a breaking point, right? Or a turning point. And you get to decide which it is. You get to decide that
You
it's
get
going to
to
be
decide.
yes, you get to decide, right? I'm probably facing one of the most extraordinary challenges in my life right now, even as we speak. But I know who I am, I know whose I am, and I know my heart and my purpose, right? So going back
Preach.
to Swan saying, your gifts will make you room for you. So I never worry, I never fret, I just stay focused. Because here's what I learned. That everything you go through along the journey now becomes a story.
True.
It becomes your story, it becomes your message, it becomes your testimony. So when I'm speaking
Yes.
on stage, I'm speaking from real life.
There you
When
go.
I'm sharing my story as a keynote, I'm not speaking about what I heard or what I read. I'm sharing the real life story. And because of that, that's what makes it unique and different. And here's what I know. I can't tell you how many people say, oh my God, I'm so glad you told that story. I'm there now. Or that happened to me. Or I know how you feel. That's why you have to be true to yourself in the midst of the storm, right? But you got to learn like the eagle. I teach the lesson about the eagle, right? And when the eagle flies and when the storms come, a lot of people don't know, the eagles rise above the clouds and they rest. That's the key. When the storm comes, they ride. You study it, look it up for yourself. They fly above the clouds and rest. That's that making yourself a priority, right? That's
go.
that rest. Because in those times and in those storms, that's where you can come up and be creative with new ideas, new thoughts, new ways of doing something, a solution. You know, be still and know. Sometimes we have to be quiet to hear the answer.
100%.
Instead of panic
100%.
mode, instead of stressing out, just be still. Just be still and listen. Because it'll come, whether it's a phone call, whether somebody make a post, or you open up a book and there it is. There's the answer. It could be just a conversation with a friend. It could be a dream. Hello?
Or it could be your podcast guest.
Come on, that's it.
On us. Come on now.
Mic drop on that for sure.
Yes.
Oh my God. This has been extraordinary.
Thank you.
As I knew it would be.
Oh.
As I knew it would be.
I love it. I just love sharing and love, sharing the blessing. There's nothing unique about me other than, I love living. I love life. I love people. And I love sharing and giving, right? We're a vessel. That's all we are. We're a vessel and a mouthpiece. So I always ask God to just let me be able to speak life, right? Which is another one of my platforms. But yeah, to speak life. And that's what we do. That's definitely what we do.
And you did that. Thank you. Thank you, Dora.
Oh, you're
Thank
most
you for your
welcome.
time.
Thank you, my sister.
Absolutely
And
extraordinary.
everybody listening, y'all just keep on building black.
Keep building black.
And own everything.
Yes.
Including your platform, your voice, and your authenticity. We'll see you and catch you on the next episode.
Peace and blessings, everyone. Build black.
Though we change the code. Yeah. Build black, break locks, no handouts, we bought the block. Build black, take spice, no gatekeep, we run the lot. They shut the gate, we change the code, turn small ideas into overload. No commission, we own the flow. Independent, that CEO. Media said what I name it grade. Built the lane and paid the way. From the block, the boring plays on everything. Generational play, build black, break change. No cash given, we made our lane. Build black on everything.